Hey, this is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're to present you our MLB On Deck segment for Thursday, May 16th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all of our MLB, NBA, NFL videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily FanDuel and DraftKings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Another pretty good night last night overall on MLB, man. Getting very, very close to a takedown, bro, for sure. It's right there. I'm just waiting for it to happen. You?
Yeah, like one hit away for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, I feel you for sure. I had a couple lines in the top 50 yesterday, and I was like, man, I would just when you have those 4x4 stacks and you have, 7 of the 8 guys go off and you have that one dud, that's like the killer right there.
It didn't even matter to me. Like, are you talking about Odor being in a dud last night?
Yeah, he killed me. I had my top 3 lines all had him.
So I had him too, but I also had a ton. I had a ton of Corbin and Maeda. Maeda, I was really big on yesterday, and I was more irritated that I needed 12 points to probably get a top. There was only 2 guys in front of me that had Maeda. I think my best line was 17th in the $9, and the guy's at 85 pitches with 12 strikeouts, and there's two outs in the 7th inning, and he gets taken out. That's Dave Roberts, though. We talk about it all the time. It's the risk you take when you roster a Dodgers pitcher. Dave Roberts, he doesn't like it to, he 80. We've seen him take guys out at like 75 pitches before, especially Maeda. So it was frustrating. I would like to have seen him go to the 95 or 100 pitch mark like he's let Ryu and Kershaw go to, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, for sure. So we got a small slate today. It's going to be a quick video. As always, this is just more of an overview, kind of get you a general idea of where we're at on today's slate. If you want a more in-depth analysis on, full breakdown, basically game by game on this slate, make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. And yeah, man, there's a couple. For me, there's 2 games that I'm really liking. I'm going to be targeting, and then there's a couple other little spots that we can sprinkle in. But I'm ready to jump into this if you are.
I'm going to tell you that the most contrarian place to be on the entire slate is to stack the Chicago Cubs against Luis Castillo.
Right, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. I think that game is going to go low on both sides just because those are 2 of the more respectable pitchers on this slate. So yeah, I'll jump into it. I'll talk about some bats, and then I'll let you, if you want, you can finish up after I'm done with the Cubs. Is kind of why you like them, Castillo, and we could kind of go from there. So I'm gonna jump into it. First team I'm gonna go with. I like Atlanta. They get a matchup today against Adam Wainwright. Adam Wainwright, he gives up a 36% hard contact rate. 209 ISO to lefties, 159 ISO to righties. So you definitely want to attack him here with the lefties. Atlanta, yes, they've been struggling a little bit, but they definitely still have some solid lefties in that lineup that are bound to break out and kind of pick it up. You got to start with Freddie Freeman. He's the best player on their team. He's a lefty. We want to attack with the lefties. You can look at Markakis. Markakis is 4 for 8 with 2 doubles in his career already. And then outside of them too, you got to look at, you can look at some of the other guys. I know he's not a lefty, but you can look at Acuna. You can look at Albies. He's the lefty. And then a guy you were telling me about yesterday to really, really look at today is this guy, Austin Riley. He's a guy that's really on your radar today, correct?
So Austin Riley was no surprise, and I would have had 100% exposure to Austin Riley yesterday on FanDuel if he would have been in the pool. I was really, really disappointed that he wasn't in the pool. I'm really excited that he's in the pool today, but I'm a little disappointed he's in the pool today because he homered yesterday, which was not a surprise. The guy had 11 home runs in AAA. He's just built like a brick shithouse. Big, strong kid, really athletic. This is a really good. The Braves outfield is, they've got Acuna, and then you got Markakis and Enciarte. Enciarte really struggling. And I think that Atlanta is, like we mentioned yesterday, Atlanta as a team is struggling. I think that Atlanta is kind of looking to get somebody in that lineup that can kickstart them. For First major league hit was a home run.
Yeah. Hey, not too bad at all. I also like the Cardinals on the other side of things. I'll quickly talk about them. Atlanta does have the highest implied total. Cardinals have the second highest implied total. This, in my opinion, Atlanta and Cincinnati on this slate are probably the best two hitting parks. Atlanta, we talked about it. It's kind of like the course field of the East now. Balls are flying, so it's going to be a very good hitter environment. Like the Braves a lot, especially the lefties. On the other side of things, you got the Cardinals. They have the second highest implied total on the slate. They get a matchup today going against Julio Teheran. Julio Teheran gives up a 38% hard contact rate, 163 ISO to lefties, 189 ISO to righties. Cardinals as a team, their team ISO is only 166, so it's nothing crazy. But they do have some mashers in this lineup. A couple guys really standing out to me. Matt Carpenter, 7 for 14, 2 doubles and 2 home runs against Teheran. Ozuna, 17 for 45, 2 doubles, 3 home runs. Cardinals, they have a potent offense, man. It is what it is. I definitely think that you can look at 1 through 6. Those are the guys really on the radar. And then if you got Dexter Fowler in that lineup, he's still coming at a very fair price tag. He's a guy that even later in his career, he can still steal you a base, give you a little bit of power upside. So I like the Cardinals as well. This whole game is probably one of my favorite games to look at on this slate, hitting wise. Moving on, next, I got one more game I really like as well. I like this this Minnesota and Seattle game. We'll start with the Minnesota side of things. You got the Twins getting a matchup against Eric Swanson. Eric Swanson gives up a 30% hard contact rate, a 222 ISO to lefties, 255 ISO to righties. So the guy. So I have a question for you. Let me finish up and then I'll ask you. Minnesota as a team, they have a 236 team ISO. So my question is for you, because you've been getting me on the ISO and all that stuff. So Eric Swanson, he's given up, pretty high ISO rates to lefties and righties, but he only has a 30% hard contact rate. So I was a little confused on that.
Say that one more time.
So Eric Swanson, like the other two guys I was just mentioning, they both are giving up hard contact rate, but the ISOs are up as well. So Eric Swanson, while looking up his numbers, he has high ISO rates, 222 to lefties, 255 to righties, but it was saying his hard contact rate is only 30%. So he's only allowing basically 30% of the time he's getting hit hard, but when he gets hit hard, it's kind of going far. Is that kind of how you read that?
So when you look
Did I confuse you?
No, when you look at hard contact rate, sometimes it's basically contact rate is broken into 3 categories. Okay, you have medium, hard, and soft. So if a guy has a 30% hard contact rate and a 22% soft contact rate, then you know that his medium to hard contact rate is probably in the 68% range, right? Where it's medium to hard contact. Okay. So, you're kind of looking at the soft to medium and the medium to hard, right? So I don't know. I haven't looked. I was busy with the early slate, so I haven't really looked to see what all these pitchers' hard contact rates against them are. So I couldn't tell you what his medium contact rate is, but based off the hits he's given up just in, his last couple starts, he's given up, 20 hits, 27 hits over his last 4 starts. So he's not dodging bats, that's for sure. So, I think he has one solid start this year. He's 1-4.
I definitely think this started to interrupt that. So I think it's the spot Twins are going to get on this dude for sure. And I like the other side of things as well. I like the Mariners. They get a matchup against Miguel Pineda. Pineda, man, this dude he's getting hit hard. 46% hard contact rate on the season. On the flip side, you got Seattle with a 226 team ISO. Pineda gives up a 208 ISO to lefties, 275 ISO to righties. So he's a really reverse split pitcher. You can look at both sides of Seattle, but I'm going to be looking more at some of the hard hitting righties You can look at Encarnacion, 10 for 30 with a home run in his career. Throw in Domingo Santana. The power numbers have definitely been up this year. Haniger as well. Haniger's a guy that he's in play. He's one of the best hitters on this team. And you can still look at the lefties, D. Gordon, Vogelback, Jay Bruce. But my favorite targets are on the Mariners. I think I'm liking is Encarnacion, Santana, Haniger. That's really where I was at on the slate. I really liked the Atlanta game. I really liked the Seattle game. Is there any other teams that's really standing out to you that wise? Oh, actually, and I was curious about why you're going to be looking at the Cubs against Castillo as well.
Who's the best pitcher on the slate?
Shit, I probably would say, honestly, probably Quintana. I like Quintana a lot going against Reds are a team that haven't been scary really all year.
Cut it out.
Who do you like?
You can't. You're not. You're just pulling my leg right now, right?
Who's your favorite pitcher on the slate?
You're telling me that Quintana is a better pitcher than Castillo is?
Oh, okay. I wasn't talking about Castillo. My bad. See, I thought that's because we were talking about the Cubs, so I was throwing Castillo out the window.
No. So I'm saying, who's the best pitcher on the slate?
Oh, you're just saying overall Castillo is the best pitcher. I get what you're saying.
He's absolutely the best pitcher on the slate. And then just from the standpoint of you're going to send Jason Hayward, Anthony Rizzo, Kyle Schwarber to the plate. Those guys can left-handed bats who all can hit for power. It's Great American Small Park. It's going to be 80 degrees there today. The majority of ownership, and rightfully so from a pitching standpoint, should gravitate to Luis Castillo. So just from jump, without doing the bulk of my research yet today, the easiest way to get field leverage in tournaments is to stack the Cubs against Luis Castillo.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying completely. That makes sense. So who are you liking pitching wise? Castillo really that's where it's at?
Say again?
Castillo is just basically where it's at for pitching?
No, I mean, look, there's other spots you can go. You mentioned Quintana. Quintana's obviously in play here against the Reds. What I don't like, though, is, you've got Yasiel Puig. There's some right-handed bats. Senzel, who leads off, who's shown he has a ton of power. There's some right-handed bats in this lineup that can also hit for power. It's a warm day there. We know how small that ballpark plays. Both these teams to me are definitely in play from a hitting standpoint. It's 80 degrees there. It's a very small park, and I believe the wind's blowing out. So I think it's a really good spot from a pitching standpoint. The Blue Jays are a team that I'll continue to target. How much ownership I'll have and how many shares of Dylan Covey I have today remains to be seen if I'm going to go there. Trevor Williams is going to get a bump pitching in Petco today. So is Eric Lauer. Those are very pitcher-friendly situations. Adam Wainwright is probably contrarian today against the Braves because, look, Michael Pineda, another guy too. I know he's got hard contact against him. He's very cheap. There's some big bats you can load up in your lineup today with putting a Michael Pineda in your lineup. Seattle is not the friendliest of environments for hitters, and it's kind of a question of, Pineda does have strikeout upside too. He can get strikeouts. He's at almost 8 Ks per 9. He can get you, at that price point, if Pineda can go 5 innings, he's got an offense behind him that is going to put up runs against Eric Swanson. So he has a high probability of qualifying for a win if he can go 5 innings and get through that. Seattle, from a team hitting standpoint, has really, really slowed down since they opened the season up on fire. At one point in time, they had lost 9 of 10 games. So their bats are not exactly on fire. There's kind of a situation here where I can see getting some leverage against the field with a Michael Pineda or a Marcus Stroman or a Dylan Covey. I think, that this slate's wide open and is probably, at least for me at this particular point in time, I don't have a clear path as far as which way I'm going. But right now, the way I look at things, there's a lot of things that are wide open that you could possibly go. Julio Teheran does not have the best success pitching in the park he's in. I know you mentioned both those teams. I just think it's a really obvious slate for in people's minds that Luis Castillo is the best pitcher on the slate, and rightfully so. He really is. He's got the most strikeout upside. He throws the hardest. He has the best stuff. Got the best movement on his pitches. But I definitely think that there's an opportunity to be contrarian on this slate and go completely off the rocker like I do from time to time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's going to be a fun little slate. I like little 5-6 game slates personally. I think it's a pretty easy to kind of get field leverage and kind of stack up a bunch of different spots and kind of go from there. So hey man, that's where we're at. The short video, small slate. If you want an in-depth analysis on today's slate, Jeremy does his deep dive video. I do my core plays, five picks that you should have in all your cash game lineups. We have a value play article, kind of help you find some identify some value on today's slate. We have a crush spot, 5 guys that are in absolute monster spots to have great days regardless of price. A couple other different MLB articles. So make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. Hey man, 14-day free trial. Yes, we're giving you 14 days, 2 weeks just to try out our site. Make sure it's right for you. You got nothing to lose, so make sure to check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. And hey, good luck on your guys' contest tonight, all right? Peace out.